It started with one Instagram photo, one perfectly lit, perfectly posed reunion snapshot that should have been nothing more than a simple memory of season 19, but instead it blew the entire Real Housewives of Orange County fandom into full-scale chaos. Because on November 21st, when Katie Ginella posted that group picture, an image that looked wholesome, united, and harmless at first glance, fans spotted something instantly. Gretchen Rossi was missing. Cropped out, erased, deleted from the scene like she had never existed. And that was only the beginning. Before we dive deeper, if you're already hooked by this drama, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because trust me, this story spirals into places no Real Housewives of Orange County viewer ever expected. Katie's caption felt innocent enough at first. Season 19 tried, but I'm still standing. Here's to moving forward and leaving the past in the past. But what she didn't realize, or maybe what she absolutely did realize, was that Bravo fans know how to read between the lines. And that is where the firestorm truly ignited, because the moment she cropped Gretchen out, the internet didn't just ask why, they demanded answers. And Katie did not help herself when one follower asked if she was returning for season 20. Her response, "We will all find out soon." Not a yes, not a no, just a deliciously cryptic tease that sent speculation flying across every corner of Housewives' social media. But the crop wasn't the only shade. The comments turned the tension into a full-blown explosion. Someone pointed out the obvious. "I love that you cropped this." Katie didn't hesitate. She fired back with, "Allies only." And with just 2 words, she managed to expose an entire fracture inside the cast, because everyone knew exactly who that line was aimed at: Gretchen. This wasn't petty drama. This wasn't a small feud. This was the continuation of one of Real Housewives of Orange County's most confusing storylines. Katie versus Gretchen and the lie detector test that failed to clear anything up. Katie had publicly claimed Gretchen shared private information with her and that Gretchen had been hospitalized. Gretchen, furious, denied all of it. And when the show brought in the lie detector test to settle things, Katie failed. Failed in front of the cameras. Failed in a way that raised more questions than answers. Fans called the test suspicious. Castmates whispered about editing. And suddenly, the entire truth behind the feud looked murkier than ever. While all of this was unfolding, another storm hit the Housewives universe. One far more emotional, far more personal, and far more heartbreaking. Meghan King, the former Real Housewives of Orange County star whose life had already been marked by public struggle and legal battles, faced one of her most devastating moments yet. After years of co-parenting with ex-husband Jim Edmonds, Meghan was removed as the primary caregiver of their 3 children. Overnight, the rules changed. The stability she fought for shifted, and the Bravo community felt the shockwave. But where drama divides some housewives, Meghan's situation unexpectedly united others. On November 23rd, at a fundraiser for the Innocence Center, Emily Simpson, Shannon Beador, and Gina Kirschenheiter gathered, not for glam, not for gossip, but to stand behind Meghan. Cameras were present, fans were watching, but this wasn't a moment for sound bites. It was a moment of raw loyalty. Emily, who has been transparent about her own struggles raising her son Luke, whom she has cared for single-handedly for 6 months, begged the public not to judge Meghan. "I don't know the circumstances, I don't know the facts," she told US Magazine. "I would hate for someone to judge anything going on." Her voice wasn't defensive, it was protective. Gina echoed the same sentiment, stressing that Meghan had never shared details on the show, and people reading leaked legal documents were crossing a line. "We don't know what's happening in that household," Gina insisted, "and nobody should be commenting." Shannon nodded in agreement, a rare moment of mother-to-mother solidarity. But the most emotional reaction came from Tamra Judge. On her podcast, 2 Teas in a Pod, Tamra revealed she spoke to Meghan, who was devastated, barely holding herself together. The holidays were approaching, the custody shift had shaken everything, and Tamra admitted she was scared for her friend. "I hope it's resolved before the holidays," she whispered. Not as a housewife, not as a podcaster, but as a woman who understood pain. So here we were, 2 storylines unfolding at once. On one side, Katie versus Gretchen, season 20 rumors, cast fractures, and the most mysterious lie detector in Real Housewives of Orange County history. On the other side, Meghan King fighting the most personal battle of her life, while her former castmates stood around her in unexpected unity. But just when fans thought they understood the direction things were heading, the story flipped again. Because while the public was busy dissecting Katie's shade, Meghan's custody heartbreak, and the swirling season 20 rumors, there was something happening behind the scenes that not even the most dedicated Bravo detectives had caught on to. And it involved the cast preparing for their next chapter in complete secrecy. As insiders quietly hinted, the Real Housewives of Orange County landscape was shifting in ways no one expected. Some cast members were stepping back, some were pushing forward, and others were silently negotiating futures that would reshape the dynamics of the entire group. Katie's "we will all find out soon" wasn't just a tease, it was a warning, a signal that something major was brewing, and that her Instagram crop was only the first breadcrumb. Because for every housewife who thrives on public conflict, there's another who plays the long game. And Katie, whether fans love or hate her, knows how to create noise that producers can't resist. Behind closed doors, insiders whispered that the reunion taping hadn't just caused emotional fractures. It revealed who the network planned to invest in going forward, and who they were ready to cut loose. And Gretchen's name kept floating through those conversations with a level of uncertainty no one saw coming. At the same time, Meghan King's situation was becoming a rallying point for the cast, one that the network couldn't ignore. Emily, Gina, Shannon, Tamra, they weren't just offering comfort. They were building a united front, something Real Housewives of Orange County hasn't seen in years. And when the women who shaped seasons with fights suddenly bond over something real, producers pay attention, the fans pay attention, and storylines take sharp, unexpected turns. Tamra's voice cracked when she talked about Meghan being devastated. And when a veteran housewife's guard drops like that, it tells you the stakes have gone beyond television. The custody case wasn't just a headline, it was a moment of truth, a moment that forced every woman in that circle to reevaluate what mattered most: family, loyalty, and the battles that continue even when the cameras are gone. But the real twist came as whispers grew that season 20 would not only bring back returning faces, but shine a harsher, more revealing light on past conflicts left unresolved. The lie detector, the cropped Instagram photo, the shifting alliances, the cast fractures, the quiet conversations happening in green rooms and reunion hallways. Nothing was truly over. Nothing was settled. And the producers, sensing a storm, were preparing to capture every second. It was a declaration that lines had been drawn, and those lines would bleed directly into the next season's casting, conflicts, and story arcs. Because the truth was simple: Real Housewives of Orange County was entering a transition era, and the women were either stepping into the fire or stepping aside.